Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Foxx Den, where passions run wild, takes run hotter, and the skulk rolls deep. I am your host, known in many, many worlds as the Podfather, Todd Fox. We got Kellen, the Shotgun Sniper of Sports Talk Radio, reading defenses, firing off takes with pinpoint accuracy, and always looking for the deep shot. And, of course, you know him. You love him. And if you're on the opposing side, my goodness, I guarantee it, you're going to fear him. It's the Banche, it's the Den's enforcer, Clay Banche McDonald. He's rattling cages and dropping bombs like only he can. This is your home for fearless debates, savage breakdowns, and full-throttle sports warfare. And just a reminder, this is not just a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. It is a movement. We'll be talking about this podcast for years to come. So join the skulk, run with the Foxx in, and let's get after it. All right, gentlemen. This is our last we're going to do the AFC East and the NFC East for this podcast. This will be the last one that we do of going through all the teams. And then it's coming up here in the next few weeks, we will kind of go over what our thoughts are for the year, predictions for each division, each of us. And the Super Bowl champion winner, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I've picked the Super Bowl winner the last 3 years, I believe.
I'm going to pull up the videos.
We got video, regardless, pretty sure. But we shall see.
We have yet to see him.
Yeah, well, you got to watch him. Got to watch him, Banche. I have, unfortunately, Gannon was unable to make it tonight. But I will take over for Gannon. But I will tell you, from a strength of schedule, what I'm looking at here is Miami's got the hardest schedule of all these teams. Then Buffalo, and again, the Jets have the third. They have the easiest. They have an easy schedule, but New England's got the easiest. And I think this is going to be an area where New England may win a few extra games. And what I mean by that is they may win some games, okay, and they may look better than they really are because of the schedule. I will tell you the big things going into this season, top storylines with New England is Mike Vrabel, his debut. I have always been a Mike Vrabel fan. I really like the guy. I wanted him to be the Dallas head coach, to be quite honest with you. But that didn't ever happen. He went to New England. And to be honest with you, they should have hired him before they hired the guy who was there last year, whose name
Mayo.
Yeah,
Mayo.
Draw Mayo. Yeah, they had Mayo there, and it was just too much for him. And plus, it was a terrible team when Brady left, and then you had Belichick leave. I mean, they didn't leave this team with much. I think Vrabel, within about 3 years, will have this team contending for the division, because at that point you're going to have Buffalo probably at that point maybe I don't know, maybe sliding down a little bit in the next 3 years. I don't know. Josh Allen's incredible, so we'll see. But Vrabel is there, and I love his leadership style, the culture he's setting with his team. He's he loves to run the football. One of the other storylines is you've got a revamped offense for Drake May. They aim to support this second-year veteran. He's not really a veteran, but for a fast break type of offense, we shall see how he does. They're integrating weapons like Stephon Diggs and what is this guy's name? Demario Douglas as well. So we'll see. And then Tom Brady, a bronze statue of Brady, is standing 12 feet tall. Will be unveiled at Gillette Stadium sometime this year. That'll be very, very interesting there. But we shall see moving forward. You've got Will Campbell, who was drafted the offensive tackle at LSU. They're trying to shore that up. I'm telling you, this team, he's going to get some offensive linemen, some big boys up there, and then he's going to start really running that football. Second round, they got an Ohio State running back, Travion Henderson. And they've got a receiver in the third round, Kyle Williams from Washington State. They're big off-season acquisitions. I mean, they've got They got Stephon Diggs. The only thing with Stephon Diggs is he's been around to all these different teams. He's kind of a locker room problem, if you ask me. I know he started out in Minnesota, and then he went to Buffalo, then he went to Houston, and now he's at New England. And he's not the same guy he was in Buffalo or Minnesota. But he is somebody for Drake May to throw the football to. So we shall see. I know Jacoby Brissett is one of the guys that's no longer on the team. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they trade Josh Dobbs to the Dallas? And he one of the backups now, Josh Dobbs, I believe. If I'm not, that's what I thought. I was thinking that. But regardless, win total, I can't tell you. I mean, I'd say it'd be over and under 7.5, 6.5 to 7.5, somewhere right around there. It'd be like an over under if you were going to take it, and we'll see. But again, that easier schedule I think will help them. And here's what's funny. So you guys know, like I couldn't stand the Patriots for 20 years because of the fact that they were so good. They beat everybody all the time. Not that I'm rooting for them, not one of my favorites, but I'm rooting for the coach, Vrabel, which I do in turn kind of root for New England. Not all the time, but I just like his style, and I think he's a tough guy, and I think he'll eventually get it turned around in New England. What are your all's thoughts?
Getting it turned around eventually, who knows? I mean, it's a tough. I mean, I think they just don't have enough players. I think that's the biggest deal. But I agree with you. I love Vrabel. Just had a bad string of injuries and bad luck in Tennessee, so it's maybe a good start or a good fresh start. But I think they'll probably be a little better this year than they were last year. I do like Drake May, but I just don't think they're going to be all that good.
Yeah. Anything you got, dog, for that?
I think they'll be okay. I think they're a couple years away from being a good team again, but I think Vrabel will be a positive impact, and I think if they let him stick around, I think he can turn it around in the next few years. I don't think it's now, but I think Drake May looked decent last year, so I'd like to see where he can go if you continue to let him grow.
Let me ask you both this, because they dominated the 2000s and 2010 to 19 time frame, right, for the last 20 years or so. Probably, I don't know about you, I wasn't rooting for him. I don't think Kellen was, and Clay, I don't think you probably were rooting for him much. Is it funny now seeing him being this bad, or are you kind of like, all right, they've done their time of being bad, now it's time for them to start building?
I mean, I don't really care, honestly. I mean, I honestly, I wish every team was competitive, know, because then it makes it a lot more fun. But that's my favorite part of the NFL is how they build it so that everybody gets their chance. Like you said, talk about the strength of schedule and everything. So I like that. That you may have. I mean, so to go on a 20-year run is incredible because it's built to not do that. But we all know it went down to one player that made the difference, and so it doesn't bother me one way or the other if they're good. I got a lot of Patriots fan in my house, so.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
No kidding. Okay.
I don't really think of it that way, I guess, just because when I think of the Patriots' success, I think of pretty much Brady and Belichick only. So I hardly even think of the team name in a sense. So it doesn't even, now that they're not as relevant, it just doesn't even feel like the same team. So it's just weird.
Okay. Who's next?
I guess that would be me. With the New York Jets. They're completely resetting right now. They got a new GM, but they brought in Aaron Glenn from Detroit as their head coach. So he'll be a good defensive mind with he's got some defensive weapons. They essentially swapped Aaron Rodgers for Justin Fields. Rodgers wasn't involved in that trade, but they brought in Justin Fields. Going to be a complete 180 from Rodgers. He's going to be young, mobile quarterback compared to what Rodgers is now. I think his 2 years at Ohio State with Garrett Wilson, I think that could prove to be valuable chemistry that they're already entering the season with. No big names or anything added. They just, outside of Fields, they added some offensive depth in the draft. I don't know. I've been a big Fields believer, believing that the right coach could bring out something in him, but I think it's getting to the point. I think it's getting too late. I don't know. Really don't know what to expect. I don't think they're going to be that great. I could see them being last in the division. I don't know. I don't think they're built. I think they've had a losing culture since like 2010.
Yeah.
So I could see them winning 5 games, maybe 6, but I don't expect anything big out of them this year.
Clay, you got anything to add on that?
No, I think you hit it. And with Justin Fields, I mean, Justin Fields is a decent quarterback. I do really like Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. So we'll see. But it's just been in disarray for such a long time. It's like, when are they going to get some stability and keep going? But New York fans just aren't very patient.
No, they're not. They're terrible. Terrible organization, unfortunately. I want the Jets to do well. I mean, the last time they did really well, I mean, I know Parcells was there. That's been a while. And I would like for them to turn it around, because they're always like kind of like the little brother of the Giants, but the Giants stink too. I mean, man, can you imagine being in that place and in New York with the football teams, how bad they both are? I don't know if the coach, Aaron Glenn, is the right choice. We'll see. I hope he is. I know he's a no nonsense guy, kind of like a Bill Parcells type of guy. So that may work out for him, to be quite honest with you. However, just don't think it will. Not anytime soon, because this team is garbage. But the owner, Johnson, is terrible. He's a terrible owner. Woody Johnson he's kind of like Jerry Jones, gets involved with things he probably shouldn't get involved in. It starts there. As long as he's there, they're going to have trouble. But I wish they'd be well. We'll see. Who's next, Clay?
I got the Buffalo Bills, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them. I mean, so kind of stated in their last podcast about there's 4 teams that have a chance to win the AFC that are all extremely good. Bills being one of those. It is so Josh Allen heavy. I think that hurts them. However, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think James Cook led the league in number of touchdowns last year for running backs. So, so they got down there inside that 5 a lot. But they got 2 young receivers, Khalil Shakur and Christian Benford. Didn't see enough from Shakur last year like I thought I would. But didn't seem to affect Josh Allen a lot. I mean, being the MVP and stuff. I mean, it's the first time in a long time that, excuse me, I felt like the most valuable player on a team actually won instead of just the best player on the best team. And
Right.
I mean, if he goes down, if he goes down, if he's not, let's say he's hurt today and doesn't play the rest of the year, I see him winning 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Other than that, they may win 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And
he's incredible.
Yeah. So, kind of like we talked about the Ravens, it's time to win or not. And, one of them is going to have to unseat the Chiefs before that's over with, but it's going to be a long road. But I definitely think they're one of the teams that could easily win the AFC.
Oh, I agree. And it's kind of like we talked about earlier with Baltimore. I mean, at what point? This is the year. If you're going to do it, I think the Chiefs, maybe coming back down to earth a little bit. This is the year to get it done. You've got to take your opportunity when it's there and win. And I hope it's Buffalo. It's probably who I'm rooting for if I'm thinking about it off the top of my head for the AFC. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see. And to your point, Jared Allen, man, incredible. Josh Allen is incredible. Fantastic quarterback. Does so many different things. He's got to learn how to quit taking some of these hits, go out of bounds, slide, whatever he's got to do. And I don't think it's in his DNA right now. Got to keep him healthy, keep him upright. And this whole deal, I know the James Cook, man, they're having an issue with him. Like, I think he's wanting more money, and I don't even know if he's in camp currently right now. So that's a big. I know he wants to be paid, and as you guys see, the running backs don't get paid like they used to because to be honest with you, they're like a dime a dozen. There's quite a few of them out there.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of the top guys like a Derrick Henry or Saquon type of guy. So, Kellen, you got anything?
No, I hope they do well. I love Josh Allen, so we will see. But like we've said this week and last week, AFC is tough right now. So we will see. But I love Josh Allen, so I'm rooting for him.
Buffalo Bills, red helmet or white helmet?
White.
I like the white as a primary, but I'd like to see the red come around more often, I guess.
Yeah. I love the white one. I wasn't really a fan of the Jim Kelly days with the red one, but it worked. They were good. Moving on to the Miami Dolphins. Man, you talk about a team that's I think there's been so much expectation for this team, and it's been like that for a while, and they're just not doing it. I mean, regardless, hot seat for Mike McDaniel. He starts he after going over underwhelming 8-9 record and missing the playoffs, he enters the season. I think he's going to be under some scrutiny, and this could be his final year unless they somehow turn it around. I like the guy. I think he's kind of funny, kind of quirky, but I just don't think that he's got the quarterback. And I like Tua, but I don't think he's the quarterback. I think he would be a really solid backup. I think he's too fragile for an NFL quarterback, too small. I don't think he can throw some of the passes that need to be made in the NFL like some of these other guys. But another storyline is the Tua and Tyreek chemistry. I know Tyreek made the comments, not wanting to be there anymore and such. And it kind of rubbed Tua the wrong way, which, to be honest with you, hats off to him for taking up for it. And he should. He's the quarterback. He's the leader of the team. And Tyreek, he's one of these guys. He's not happy anywhere. That guy's just anyway.
I mean, he chose money over the best quarterback in the league, and now you see what happens.
Yes. He's a very good receiver, but he's just one of these. He's a diva, and he causes issues, locker room issues. I know they had a secondary. They got a secondary overhaul coming in. They traded away Jalen Ramsey, their defensive line, trying to retool that. So they've got so many different things going on. I don't see how Mike McDaniel makes it out this year. I truly don't. I like him. I want him to do well. Don't see it. I know first-round pick, they've got Kenneth Grant, defensive end from Michigan. He's expected to help deepen that line, help energize the team, but he's not going to do it all for him. Neither is the guard from Arizona with a second-round 37th pick, Jonah Savant. I don't know how you say this last name. Saviana. Not gonna. I mean, they need a lot more than that. They got Quinn Ewers though, so not going to happen. And Ollie Gordon, I know, is with this team as well. Regardless, I can't tell you. I think 7 wins, maybe 8 if everything goes really well for this team, perhaps. The over-under, and I don't want Tua to get hurt. I don't want him to have any kind of a concussion or anything like that, but if history tells us anything, this team, he's going to be out several games this season. And they haven't had a quarterback since Dan Marino, and that's a long time. I mean, some of these teams haven't had quarterbacks that long. It's like, how does this happen? How do you not have a quarterback for that long? Mm-hmm. I don't get it. And then you got somebody like Green Bay, who had Favre for all those years, and Rodgers and Love. Not that Love's the greatest, but you understand where I'm coming from. Just doesn't make any sense. What are your all's thoughts on the Miami Dolphins?
I love Devin A-Chain, incredible running back, but nothing seems cohesive with that. Like, are you a team or you not? And
right.
Kind of like you said, it's probably the Tyreek Hill effect. I agree with you on McDaniel. I think he's a really, really good coach, but I just don't know if he's the type of guy that can bring these divas together. And
right.
So I agree with you. I think 7 wins is their tops.
Kellen?
I agree completely with what you guys said. Really, nothing else. It's just kind of, I don't know. I feel like we've seen the best of them, and that's just going to continue to be the case. When they're all healthy, they look really good for some games, but they never end up doing anything with that. So,
right. And speaking of the Dolphins, the old helmet or the new helmet? Which one?
Old.
The blue one or the turquoise?
The Dolphin, when we were kids, kind of went like this. Now it's going like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely old. Way better.
Yeah. It's like, come on, guys. Get back to the old.
They just simplified it way too much.
I totally agree. So just going forward, Kellen, just to let you know, like if you agree with anything, you just say, I agree with you, Clay. It's an inside joke. We were doing a UConn game, and he was talking. He was the play-by-play and kept talking. Poor guy. He needed a drink, needed a second. He said something, and I just said, I agree with you, Clay. I didn't know if he got a drink. I didn't even know if he got anything to drink. So it was
pulled the old Major League movie line out. It's like, well, he's not the best color man in baseball for nothing.
You did say that, didn't you?
Something like, no, I didn't really say it, but I definitely thought it in my head. I was like, I need some help here, man.
Sure. All right, moving on to the NFC East. Finally, we're here. The final division we're going to talk about. The Giants have a hard schedule, which again doesn't make any sense for me. They've got the hardest schedule in this division. Again, a reminder to everybody, this is based off of last year's performance teams. You know, it may not end that way. Philadelphia's got the second hardest, third place Dallas, and Washington Commanders have what is called the easiest schedule in the NFC. What are we in? The East. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on. So, all right, I get to go first, and if I'm not mistaken, I have the New York Giants because my good friend I don't have the Giants.
Cowboys.
I have Cowboys, and I think I have Washington.
Yeah,
that's what I've got. Yeah, I've got Washington. It's been a long week, folks. All right, top storylines for the Commanders. Terry McLaurin. Having trade requests, he's having contract disputes. Pay the man, he's good. You don't want to make these mistakes. You got to have him on the field. I think he's a leader for that team, and I get the owner's side and the team side. I totally understand it, but this is one of your top players on the team. You've got to take care of him because then you're going to see these other players. They're going to see how you're treating this guy, regardless. So take care of him. Can they replicate last year? They came out of nowhere last year, to be quite honest with you. That's Jaden Daniels, but a lot of it due to the fact that Jaden Daniels was incredible last year. Mm-hmm. If he continues the same type of thing, this team will challenge Philadelphia for the division. They will. They're a good team. They're a good football team. They got a good – I truly think he's a good coaching staff. I think Dan Quinn being there, I think he's good, and I think he's done really well with helping turn this team around. And can they duplicate what they did last year? Only time will tell. And then there's some battles going on in training camp. I know with McLaurin out and Noah Brown out, some backups, some rookies are having some opportunity. So they're going to try to take the most of it as much as they possibly can. And again, we'll talk about Dan Quinn turning in his year number 2 and Cliff Kingsbury. I think Cliff Kingsbury is exactly where he needs to be, an offensive coordinator. I think he's a really good offensive coordinator. Not saying he can't ever be a head coach but he seems to me to be more he obviously is offensive driven, but I just don't think he is that successful as a head coach. Maybe he can. I think if you had him down at a lower tier school, I know he was at Texas Tech, but I'm talking even low, I don't want to say even lower, not disrespecting anybody, but like if he was at a Tulsa or something like that, I think he would be a successful coach. But I think Dan Quinn's good. I know he got the raw deal in Atlanta, and then he was at Dallas as defense coordinator for many years and helped turn that defense around. But early training camp assessments right now, Daniel's made some impressive strides from what it sounds like, and I think for being a Dallas fan and really liking the Washington quarterback is kind of interesting. I think it kind of shows my whatever displeasure of being a Dallas fan to where I'm just like, you know what? I'm about ready to be done. I really am. We'll talk about that later, though, because I get those guys later coming up. But regarding they got Deebo Samuel. They've got Michael Gallup. So they've got some, some depth there. Debo's going to be interesting if he can stay healthy, because I think he's the kind of player that Cliff Kingsbury will love to drop plays for. I think it'd be pretty cool to watch him for sure. From a win perspective, I could see this team winning. 10 games for sure. I could see them winning 11, maybe 12. I think in the 10-11 ballpark. I really do think that. I think more teams have kind of come after him this year. Maybe more footage on Daniels, but I'm really looking forward to it because I really like this team. And I shouldn't because I'm a Dallas guy, but really like them better if they change their name back, but it's not going to happen. What do you guys think about Washington Commanders?
It all goes back to Jaden Daniels if he's going to be able to continue on doing what he's doing. But adding Deebo is huge. Having Deebo and McLaurin as your receivers, maybe the best duo in the league. And they'll get McLaurin going. But I agree with you. If they don't, that's their bad. So I see them. I wouldn't be shocked if they won the division this year just because what's been something like 17 or 18 years that they've had a repeat winner in the NFC East.
Yeah, you're right.
So
that's this team to do it, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
step back up. And Washington, Clay, back when we were kids, that's a really good fan base. They are starving for some wins and championships, because they won 3 Super Bowls back in the 80s, and they're good. And they're a fan base that really gets fired up and excited. I remember, when the Redskins used to play, man, I got so mad because I didn't, because I just didn't like him. But Monday Night Football, I'm looking forward to watching this team play. I really am. Kellen, what do you got?
I agree. It's going to be fun to watch. I wasn't too high on Jaden Daniels going into last season, so I was wrong on that. But I'm interested to see because I think he will do well based on what we saw last year. But we see so many guys come in rookie year and light the league up and have that second year slump. So we'll see. But I think he's got some weapons around him to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'm excited to see where he goes and what happens. But yeah, I agree. It all comes down to Daniels.
Well, I can tell you, if you look at the tape, you'll see that I predicted he would be a very good quarterback in the NFL. So hey, it's on the tape. Watch it. You know what's concerning though is if I'm Washington, I don't know, concerning is the word, but if he has a really good year again, then that's probably Cliff Kingsbury's name's going to be out there for head coaching jobs. It's going to happen at some point. Who's next? Dog?
I've got Philadelphia Eagles. They got a pretty tough schedule, so I'm interested to see what happens there. Lost Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator. So they have Kevin Patullo, their 4th offensive coordinator in 4 years. That's never great, but their offense is pretty much still intact for the most part. So weapon-wise, they got Hurts and Saquon still, and A.J. Brown and all those guys. So offensively, outside of Kellen Moore, they didn't lose too much. They kept their defense coordinator, Vic Fangio, but they lost a lot of defensive players. Too many names to name, but they lost some major roster changes. So they drafted a lot of defensive guys. It's going to be interesting to see. They kept their coordinator, so can he build up another defense to keep up with their offense? Because their offense was really good, but they weren't just some powerhouse. It felt like they were defensive heavy, and Jalen Hurts just managed the game really well on the offensive side. I personally still think, obviously, there's going to be competition. I feel like they're probably the favorites to go to the Super Bowl on the NFC side, just based on last season. But with teams like Washington and Detroit, you never know. But we will see. I'm excited to see. I love Jalen Hurts. They had their ring ceremony, and everybody's like, "Why'd you not put on your ring?" He said that was last season. He's already moved on to this season. So I think we're going to see a good year out of him, and it's going to be exciting to watch.
Anything to add, Clay?
It'd be interesting to see what all these coaches are doing to stop the tush push, and
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if that's a thing or if they can stop it. Obviously, some of these people try to stop it just by making it not a rule, but we'll see if it actually gets stopped in games. So I'm interested to see how that goes. So, yeah, they're just obviously really, really good, but we'll, obviously we talked about the Commanders. They're not going to be bad. Cowboys won't be bad. So, they're going to lose some games because, like Kellen said, their defense isn't as good. But they're still obviously till you get beat, you're the defending champs.
Right. I like this team. I don't like them. I'm just saying I like them as a good football team. I'm not a fan of the Eagles. Never have been. Don't despise them like I used to. Again, I think it's because Dallas stinks so bad. I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, don't care anymore. I do care, but just aggravating. Regardless, Jalen Hurts, fantastic quarterback. I'm not a fan of their coach. Never have been. I just think he's just a mouthy guy. And he shouldn't be that way being the head coach. That's just my opinion. Saquon's incredible. A.J. Brown. It's a good team. Good football team. And to your point, they may take a little bit of a hit with the defense, but we'll see. I know this team and the fan base is incredible. Not that I'm a fan of them, but they're just good. And they know it. And I'm not as mad that the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl as I was the first time they won one back against New England several years ago. We'll see. I think this team's probably the team to beat in the NFC, but until somebody shows them that they're not. Who's next?
Got the New York Giants.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think they're one of the bottom 5 teams in the league this year. Yeah. They do have Russell Wilson coming over, moving on from the Daniel Jones era. I like Malik Neighbors. I think he's one of the top 10 receivers. He's really, really good. Yeah. You got Tyrone Tracy as a running back, which to me is just about as average as it gets, if not. I like that I think they drafted pretty well. Abdul Carter coming in. I think he's an outstanding defensive player, but they're just not very good. I mean, overall. And, and unfortunately we talked about them kind of like the Jets. They're probably going to win 3 or 4 games, start over with a whole new coaching staff, probably draft Arch Manning or somebody like that next year, or one of those John Mateer, one of those.
Did they get Jackson Dart?
They did. That's true. I forgot about that. It just depends on. I mean, I could see Jackson Dart coming in 3rd or 4th game and seeing if he can do something. But if he tanks and they still win 3 or 4 games and he doesn't show any promise, he'll be like a Mac Jones and be on somewhere else. And they'll be drafting another quarterback next year. So I just don't see a whole lot of promise out of the Giants this year.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for them, just because of the fact that, I mean, that's again, I keep talking about fan bases, a really, really good fan base. I feel like I know these fan bases more because they're in Dallas's division. We've watched games on TV from there. Brian Daboll, I like him a lot. Great offensive coordinator at Buffalo. And it just shows you, if you don't have the quarterback, you're going to struggle in this league. And they tried it with Daniel Jones for many years and wasn't working out. Jackson Dart, there were some people that were really high on him, some not. I hope he does well. I don't know. We'll see. But then again, regardless, I mean, you're not going to see very many Jaden Daniels coming into this league and lighting it up. You're just not. And Jackson Dart's not going to be one of those guys. I mean, so if he does get the opportunity, which I think he will at some point, he's going to struggle. But hopefully he can show some progress. To your point, man, probably going to be looking for a new head coach next year, unfortunately. Kellen, what do you got?
Pretty much the same. I mean, I love Daboll as well, so I feel bad for him. He just really has not had the opportunity to have success. He's got 3 cheeks quarterbacks on this team, because isn't Jameis Winston over there as well? So, I feel bad for him. I think he's a really good coach, really good offensive mind, really good quarterback guy, but just has not had the recipe for success and has not been able to do anything with it. And they are in a fairly tough division, especially now. The Cowboys, good or bad, are always decent, always relevant. Commanders are on their way up, and the Eagles are on top. So they are in one of the harder divisions, and they're not good.
Right. I agree. So we will move on to the Dallas Cowboys, the final team that we're going to speak about today. We got Mike McCarthy era over, and probably, would you call it a disappointment? Probably, even though he had several over, double-digit win seasons. Probably more of a disappointment. But the thing is, let's be honest, doesn't matter who the head coach is, you don't have a whole lot of say-so, to be quite honest. You're a head coach, but you're not like your head coach of some of the other NFL teams. Brian Schottenheimer, the new offensive-minded head coach for the Dallas Cowboys, loved his dad, Marty. This is his first opportunity as a head coach. Interested in seeing how he works and how well he'll do. I like him. I do. I just don't know. Like he kind of reminds me of Jason Garrett. He's just kind of there. And I'm not disrespecting. I'm just saying the fact that because these guys can't do a whole lot. I think the players, I don't want to say the word fear, but it's more towards the owner than it is the head coach, where when Jimmy Johnson was there, man, those guys, they feared Jimmy. And it's not been the same ever since he left, even though I love Switzer to death. Jimmy's a better NFL coach. But regardless, I'm anxious to see if Brian Schottenheimer can he command the locker room. And early indications, to be honest with you, are a lot of the players like him, and if that's a good sign. So if they like him, I think that's good, and they'll play for him. Matt Eberflus, the former head coach of the Chicago Bears, is Dallas's defensive coordinator. He's been an assistant coach with Dallas many years ago. Then I think he went to the Colts, maybe, and then on to Chicago. But regardless, he brings an intensity likely to feature more of a blitz-heavy set. So I'm anxious to see him there. The big take. So right now is I like the mix of these guys, but this is going to be trial by fire because you guys know as well as I do, Jerry Jones runs the show, and he's not been able to do it since Jimmy left. So there's no grace period in Dallas at all. Zero. Big storylines is obviously number one is Micah Parsons, the trade drama. He's holding out. I saw something from Adam Schefter earlier saying this is the first day that he didn't even go to. He's holding out, but he was also there at the field watching the practices. He wasn't there today. So he publicly requested a trade, which I'm not a fan of doing. I don't think that's accurately way to do it. However, and the thing is, you can't fault both sides. Yeah, he wants a longer term contract so he can protect himself from the future. But Jerry's like, hey, we still got him under contract this year. We don't have to do that till next year if we don't want to. But I just don't think Jerry should publicly criticize a player. That's just my opinion. I think a deal gets done. Will he be back for week one? I don't know. It's coming here before you know it. But this is either a leadership turning point or it's a chemistry killer, depending on if he signs or not. And again, like we just talked about, Schottenheimer, new era, how well he does. That's another one of the hot takes. Running back coach Derek Foster and wide receiver coach Junior Adams. There's some new coaches to the staff. They got 5th round pick from Texas, who's turning some heads out there. So we'll see if he can work out for us. I don't know. The thing is, they don't have a running game. The running game stinks, and they let what was the guy from last year? You know what I'm talking about? It's a different name, and I can't think of his name. But regardless, let him go. And what are you doing, man? DeMarcus Lawrence is no longer there. Zach Martin retired. Cooper Rush is no longer there. Brandon Cooks, Jordan Lewis, all these guys are gone. And they got a lot of new players coming in. I had it on the tip of my tongue for that running back. I can't think of it. I can see him. But regardless, they've got Javonte Adams, Miles Sanders there. I don't think this is going to be that great of a team. This roster's been flipped like a Waffle House omelet. They're just not that great. I don't think they're going to be very good. I think it's going to be Washington and Philadelphia to win the division. And I see Dallas. Again, we'll go through it later on when we go through all schedules. Right now, I'm seeing it as a 7-win team. Don't know. I'm not happy. It all depends on if Dak Prescott can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, then that gives them a better shot to win some games. And the thing about Dak is he is a really, really good fantasy quarterback, not an NFL championship quarterback. And they're not going to win any championships with him. It's just not going to happen. Did you look up his name by chance? Like the guy from last year, the running back?
Ezekiel Elliott?
No, there's another guy. I can't remember.
Turbin, Dowdle?
Who'd you just say?
Rico Dowdle?
Turbin?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him. I thought he was a little pretty good. But regardless, if this team finds a groove early, look out. But if Parsons walks and that offensive line doesn't gel, they're going to be in some big, big trouble. So we shall see. Any thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like it just when we talked about earlier in one of the teams, there's just no cohesiveness.
Right.
It just, they did bring in a couple of, I think the running back room is better than it was last year. Personally, got Javonte Williams, who just never could get on track at Denver. Got Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Jaden Blue, the rookie from Tennessee, is pretty good, but I think he got hurt today in practice, actually. And so it just – CeeDee Lamb, one of the top 2 or 3 receivers. I think George Pickens was a good move. So they got a chance. I don't know. I actually talked to a guy that I know that works for the Dallas Cowboys, not in their personnel office or anything like that. And he asked him last year, so are we going to be able to keep Lamb and Parsons both? And he said yes on Lamb, no on Parsons, and that was last year. So not saying that they're not going to sign him, but Jerry Jones is notorious for waiting until the kind of the last minute and then signing him, and for whatever reason. So I mean, he's incredible, but did bring in Kenneth Murray, got him from OU, is now on their team and stuff. So they've got a chance. But man, everybody's going to have to stay healthy, and they just, like you said, they got to get that line going so they can get that running game going. And I'm like you, Cowboys fan, just not feeling very confident. I think 7 wins, maybe 8 wins, but just probably 2 losses to the Commanders, 2 losses to the Eagles, so there's 4 right there. So it's going to be tough. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Kellen?
I agree, Clay.
You don't have anything else? You're good?
Yeah.
Kellen, just so you know, is not a Dallas fan, so it doesn't bother him. He's not worried about it.
Yeah.
I used to get upset. Not anymore. It's been a while since I've been upset with the Dallas Cowboys. They had a real good run in the 90s. And then some Tony Romo teams were pretty good, really good, honestly. And then they had, honestly, with Dak, they've had some pretty good teams. But fans, I'm just telling you, not drinking the Kool-Aid this year. I'm done. No Kool-Aid for me. Dallas, not very good football team. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So that concludes our going over all the teams in each division. What we'll do in the next few weeks, we'll come up with a podcast, and we're going to tell you all what we think for each of us is each team's record, who's going to win the division, and then we're not going to go over each single playoff game, but we'll talk to who we think makes the wild cards and who's in the playoffs and who makes NFC and AFC championship games and who makes Super Bowl, and then predict who's going to win. We'll have that coming out. So if you guys are looking for who you want to know who's going to win the Super Bowl, hey, tune in because I got news for you. I've been right the last 3 years, so and we got tape to prove it. But it'll be fun, pretty fun. All right, I've got one more. We're going to continue this trend till we get tired of it, which you guys may be tired of it.
I love it.
What's that?
I love it.
All right. Keep 4, cut 4, movie Titans edition. Keep 4, cut 4. You ready? Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, or any of the movies, just Star Wars as a whole.
Keep.
I'm going to cut.
Really? Okay. Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, keep.
Cut.
The Dark Knight.
Cut.
Keep.
Inception.
Cut.
Keep.
Avengers movies.
Keep.
Cut.
The Matrix.
Cut.
Gladiator.
Cut.
How many we got left?
I got no idea. There's one more after this, but yeah.
I guess I have to keep it. I have to keep the last two.
Do you really? And then the final one, are y'all having to keep or cut?
Keep.
I got to keep.
Well, looks like you're keeping Jurassic Park.
Oh, my God.
Guys, always be careful. Always be careful. Yeah, we'll continue those things. Little fun things we do. Like, to be honest with you, like if I were looking at it, I would definitely keep Shawshank Redemption, The Dark Knight. I would keep the Star Wars things for sure, movies. And then I like the Avengers as well. So those are the ones
I would definitely switch Jurassic Park for the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'd probably swap Jurassic Park for Shawshank, probably. But
did you see the new Jurassic Park at all?
mm-hmm.
You know, whenever that came out, I was like, is this like the third or fourth one? And they're like, it's like the ninth. I had no idea. I've seen the first one, and that's it.
It's the 7th.
Oh, 7th.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that. Dadgum.
I think it's the best one since the first one, but I also think 2 through 6 were not that great. So I wasn't a fan of the Chris Pratt era, so I like this new one better than his.
Yeah, I had no idea. All right. Well, that's it for today from the Foxx Den, where the takes were hot, the jokes a little questionable, and Clay almost got canceled again. But if you laughed, yelled at your speaker, or questioned our sanity, hey, guess what? Our mission's accomplished. But don't forget to subscribe, rate us, leave us a review, preferably 5-star, unless you're a Denver fan, in which case we understand. We'll be back next time, louder than ever, rowdier than ever, and probably still wrong about something. But until then, stay bold, stay loyal, and as always, run with the Foxx Den. Goodbye, everybody. Boomer.
Sooner.
Thank you for listening to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free to our YouTube channel, Foxx Den Sports. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Foxx Den Sports and on Facebook at Foxx Den Sports Podcast. You can also email us at foxdensports@yahoo.com. This has been Foxx Den Sports.